Hello everyone, it's Bookies Can Lose here again with my football preview video. You've been asking about this when the new video will be uploaded, so here we are today. It's Friday, and again I'll be looking at some games during the weekend, trying to find a value on where you can spend your money on. So before we start, a word of warning. We had an international break in the last week, and it's almost always the case that after the international break there are some very surprising results in the next round of European football. So be careful when placing your bets, because strange things may happen. Okay. Other than that, let's have a look. So 15th of October, Saturday, full card of Premier League games. And we start in London with a game between Chelsea and Leicester. So current champions versus previous champions, and you can see that there's only one favorite to win this game, and it's Chelsea, 157. In the standings, Chelsea is 7th, Leicester 12th. Chelsea won recently with Hull, even though they had a run of 2 losses in a row against Arsenal and against Liverpool. Leicester, as you can see, unpredictable really. Win some, lose some, basically, and then recently the draw with Southampton. Last 4 games, so both teams scoring. You look at that. It's pretty much reasonable to these odds, so that there is no real value in backing that. Chelsea at home, pretty good form recently. They were beaten by Liverpool, but other than that, pretty good. You can see that Leicester last beat Chelsea on their home ground in the year 2000, so a while back. What's something that should be noticed is the number of goals that Leicester concedes recently, because they conceded 4 against United, 4 against Liverpool, 2 against Hull, and then probably we shouldn't look deeply into the International Champions Cup. That when comparison to how many goals Chelsea scores, we would back over 2.5. However, again, at 1.70, not a great deal, to be honest. Yeah. Chelsea to win, over 2.5 goals, but no real value here. So let's move on. Arsenal Swansea. Excuse me. Arsenal Swansea, 129 for the home team. Is there any value going against that? Not really. If you look at the recent games, compare Arsenal, their wins, with Swansea, which is really struggling, and their coach Guidolin, who will probably not. I mean, he will be fired before the end of the season. we cannot really expect anything else but the home win. The only value would be going with both teams to score. However, this is surprising. I was expecting higher odds for both teams to score no. Because yeah, Arsenal was able to keep a clean sheet in 4 consecutive games. At the same time, however, Swansea scored against City twice and once against Liverpool, but these were all home games. But with these odds, not really. This is a bit exaggerated. I mean, 1.5 for over 2.5 goals. Going for under at these odds is tempting, but I think I would not go with that, to be honest. Arsenal in a very good form recently. I think three goals should be scored. 3-0, 3-1, 2-1, 2-0, something like that for Arsenal. This is how I would predict this match. Bournemouth, Hull City. If we look at the home, yeah, Bournemouth pretty good at home. Hull City pretty much randomly at home, away. 185 for Bournemouth to win, even though Hull City, they have never defeated Hull City from the looks of it. So that's interesting. This is something that I wouldn't bet on for several reasons. 185 is not as attractive odds as they are, to back the home team. This match, as you can see, 5-1, 0-2, 2-2, 0-1, 1-0, sorry. So again, we can see 1 goal or 2 goals, or 4 or 5. Both teams last met 11 years ago, so wouldn't bet my money on that. Manchester City, Everton, 150 for Manchester City, which is tempting. They lost with Tottenham 2 weeks ago. Everton also were beaten by Bournemouth and Crystal Palace. This is interesting because when you look at Manchester City's home record, we shouldn't have any doubts who will win this game. Everton 2 wins in last 5, so 1-5 is good. These are good odds. I would probably go with boost it a bit, so perhaps -1, or if you want to risk a bit, go -1.5. But I think Manchester City will get a winner. Everton is struggling recently. They were defeated by Norwich, lost with Bournemouth, then only a draw with Crystal Palace. I would be with Manchester City. Stoke Sunderland. So the Stoke City got their second point. Sorry, third point in fact. 2 weeks ago when they drew with Manchester United, which was surprising. Sunderland in a pretty similar position, but only 2 points. Now, both teams to score looks tempting. That's the first thing. But the odds aren't that great. Then going with the home team also makes sense. The list of injured players is very long for Sunderland. I think that Stoke, after these 2 draws, they may finally get a win with Sunderland. I mean, if they are not able to beat Sunderland, then who else can they? So these odds are pretty okay if you want to support the home team. West Brom, Tottenham. Tottenham in a great form and with boosted morale after that win with Manchester City. 17 points, the only undefeated team in the league. West Brom only one win at home with West Ham, then a 0-0 draw with Middlesbrough and a loss with Everton. Going with home win looks okay. West Brom at home, yeah. This is very similar to Manchester City Everton, so the approach would be the very same. I would go probably -1 or -1.5 if depends on the risk, but I think that Tottenham will win. These odds are pretty good. Only one West Brom win at home in 3-6 games, so Tottenham just needs 3 points and I think they'll get them. Crystal Palace, West Ham, so terrible form by West Ham recently. That draw with Middlesbrough, you know, it doesn't change anything because they are on a very bad run. Crystal Palace recently, have a look at that. West Ham, it's a recent form. West Ham 1 draw, 4 defeats. Crystal Palace undefeated in 5. That's something that points to a home win. 2.15, pretty much okay. If I'm sorry about that. If both teams to score is another option. Over 2.5 is also an option, but I think 2.15 for a home win is pretty good. So I would take that. That's good. All right, now German Bundesliga. Köln, Ingolstadt. If we look at these standings, there is a huge difference between 2 teams. 1 draw, 5 defeats, and 3 draws, 3 wins by Köln. They had a draw with Bayern München recently, and Leipzig. So Köln for me is the selection. 180, very good odds. They already dropped from 205 to 180, so I would definitely get that. It's unlikely that they will draw with Ingolstadt. Then Augsburg, Schalke. this is a match that you would prefer to stay away from. Schalke first win after 5 defeats. They demolished Mönchengladbach 4-0. Augsburg, anything can happen basically. So you would leave that. I would not bet on it, to be honest. Frankfurt Bayern, yeah, you cannot really get more than 125 for Bayern win in such a game. The question really in such games is whether you want to back both teams to score or not. I think the odds will be pretty much tempting. 2.15, I would expect like 2.3 or 2.4, to be honest. Frankfurt, they have a very good home record. They score goals at home, but with Bayern, they failed to score in 4 consecutive home games. Also, Bayern kept their clean sheet in 4 games. 4 away games, not counting the Champions League game against Atletico Madrid, which is something different. So a bit risky. It's 50-50, you know. So 2.15, probably something that you could consider. 2 or 2.5, not really. Not really. Hoffenheim, Freiburg. Oh, sorry about that. So it's 7th against 10th. Pretty much anything can happen. Both teams to score 5-3, 2-1, 3-3, 1-1, 3-3, 1-1. So this one should have 3-3. Both teams to score 150. And then yeah. So everyone expects this match to see both teams score and go over 2.5 goals. If you look at that, 3 goals, 3 goals, 2 goals, no goals, 1-4, 1-3. Yeah, these odds are okay to go for an under. If you like to go against the odds, it may end somewhere near 2-1 or 1-2. Your decision, basically. Or if you want to go against the odds, go for both teams to score no. There's always a chance that only one team will score, and there are pretty good odds for that. Mönchengladbach, Hamburger SV. So Mönchengladbach, after that defeat by Schalke, a pretty shocking defeat, will now take on Hamburger SV. I am expecting a very comfortable home win. Look at that. They are 167. I would even handicap that. Minus 1.5. Yeah, I think I would go with that. Mönchengladbach needs to recover after that defeat by Schalke, and it's a very strong chance that they will beat Hamburger SV at home. Bremen against Leverkusen. Leverkusen had that win against Dortmund recently and against Mainz. Bremen against Wolfsburg and Darmstadt, so 2 teams in the bottom part of the table. Both teams to score is on paper, and 2.5 over 2.5 goals. So probably will not get much for it. 160, the 160. So again, if you need a value bet, would be to going against that. but yeah, it's a bit risky because everything points at both teams to score. So a correct score trade would work here if we went with 2-1, 1-2, 2-2, 1-3, 3-1 type of thing, with a small insurance on, for example, draw, and try to trade that. That looks like a opportunity. Now in Italy, Napoli against their without their best scorer Milik, so they will need to rebuild their team a bit, their starting 11 a bit. They face Roma, so it's second against third, a very important match for both sides. Both teams to score, no. Great odds, and I think it's a good value to try and go ahead with that. If you look at head-to-head games, 6 consecutive games, so only both teams scoring. The same case with recent 3 out of 4 recent Napoli games and 3 out of 5 for Roma. So both teams to score, no, would be something to consider. Pescara Sampdoria, no. 7-10, 7-10, pretty much even. 2 evenly matched teams, anything can happen. No bet. Juventus Udinese, again, just a matter of how many goals Juventus will score. I wouldn't go with both. So both teams to score, yes, even though it has good odds. I would go with both teams to score, no. If you want a small bet, I would go with that. 4 consecutive Juventus games without conceded goal. Udinese failed to score in last 2. They failed to score against Juventus also in the last game. Pretty worth a try. Pretty much worth a try. Spain, Sevilla against Leganes. That tells you the whole story. I mean, Leganes is as bad at home as Sevilla away, so that's why I would stay away from this game. Even though everything points to Sevilla win, their away form is so bad that I would not put my money on that in this case. Barcelona La Coruña, 1-11. There is some chance of playing for Messi and Neymar. Some chance. Of course, the Barcelona fans are not only concerned by their team's position in the table, which is 4th at the moment, but mostly because of 10 conceded goals. If you compare that to Atletico Madrid, a team that conceded only 2 goals, that's a difference. La Coruña away, you can see they do not really score. So yeah, no, I wouldn't go with anything here. Over 2.5, sorry, under 2.5. No, both teams to score. Yes, not really. La Coruña doesn't look like scoring in this game. Atletico Madrid Granada, so the easiest rival for the home team. Look at the table. With 2 conceded goals, you cannot expect Granada to score. Both teams to score, no, will be 1-3, 1-4. Anyone who wants to go against the odds will and Granada, if they score, they will get a good payout, but I wouldn't really risk that. Yeah, Granada is able to score, but not against Atletico Madrid, and they played against Alaves, Betis, and Las Palmas, so um, it will be a completely different match. Now, Betis against Real Madrid, also an easy chance to get 3 points for Real Madrid. Betis 15th in the table. Real Madrid, after 3 draws, they just need to get 3 points now. Betis at home, yeah, I mean, this is they may score. I mean, if you want to, that's it. That's it. This is very interesting because look how different it is. Real Madrid, who are 136, weren't they, to win? Yeah, and at the very same time, everyone expects Betis to score. I am not so sure. Betis scored only 1 goal in last 3, so going for both teams to score no here is pretty much tempting. You may want to consider that. Okay, so this is Saturday. Let's have a very quick look at Sunday. On Sunday we have Middlesbrough against Watford in Premier League. 12 goals scored and 13 conceded. It means that you can look at both teams scoring, and 195 is pretty generous. So that looks like an option here. Southampton against Burnley. Southampton should get a winner. Burnley away, no goals scored. That's interesting. 6 conceded. Southampton at home, 3-2. So it's like, yeah, something like that. 3-0, 1-0, 2-0 for Southampton. Looks like looks like an option here. So both teams to score no. Yeah, pretty much expected. But 2-0, 3-0 with a small cover on 2-1. This is how I would manage the correct score market. Okay, now Mainz against Darmstadt. Hard to say, really. I would leave that. Wolfsburg against Leipzig. That's interesting because when you looked at that, I mean, Leipzig, they are this is a team that was promoted this season to Bundesliga. Wolfsburg is really struggling, at home they scored only 1 goal. Leipzig very good away. The odds already dropped from 4 to 3, and this is a chance. I think I would take the risk and back Leipzig to win here. There's a good chance they will get a win, and these are really great odds to give it a try. Italy Serie A, Fiorentina, Atalanta. Yeah, leave that alone. No. Genoa, Empoli. 175 for the home team. Alright, 2 goals scored, 11 conceded. 0-4 Genoa at home. Yeah, that doesn't look like Genoa would lose this game. Again, -1 perhaps on Asian, so you get the money. You get your money back if they win by 1 goal. Good odds. I would try that. Inter Cagliari. Inter to win, but it may be maybe surprising. Cagliari, well, Inter should win. Both teams to score, yes, 175. It's pretty much interesting. Yeah. Cagliari at home, they are playing well. In away games, they will probably lose this one against Inter. Lazio, Bologna. Lazio fourth in the table, Bologna 11th. Again, pretty the same story, but Bologna scored 4 goals in the last 4 games, but Lazio is pretty much able to keep a clean sheet. So I wouldn't go with both teams to score market really. Sassuolo, Crotone. Nothing. Sassuolo should get a win, as you can see. Don't go with BTTS either, because look at Crotone, they scored, they did not score, they scored, they did not score, they scored, so it's pretty much random. And Chievo AC Milan, that's a good one, because two teams pretty close in the table. It can go either way, the odds are pretty much similar. Both teams to score, no. Maybe an option here if you look at head-to-head stats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 consecutive games, so only one team's scoring. Both teams to score, no. Definitely an option. And Spain, Alaves, Malaga. Oh god, no, leave it. Bilbao, Sociedad. 10-8, 9-9, pretty close to the table. You wanna go for a draw? 1-1, 1-1, 1-1, 0-0, and 0-1 in the recent game. So this is a type of match that you want to stay away from, because everything is pointing into a different direction. You have 4 out of 5 head-to-head games that ended in a draw, but then no team had a draw in last, look how many games. So Real Sociedad had 1 draw in last 10. Bilbao didn't have any draws in last 10. In fact, they had a lot of wins. No, thank you very much. Ijon Valencia. Is 210 enough to go ahead with Valencia win? If you are a Valencia fan, you would probably go with that, but I'm not, and looking at what Gijon was able to do recently at home, yeah, they are excused with that 0-5 against Barcelona. I would think that they can beat Valencia too, so no, too risky. Villarreal, Celta Vigo, 185 for Villarreal. That is tempting, but at the same time Celta Vigo started playing well, so it can go any direction. Both teams to score may be an option. If it's again, yeah, if you get 2, I would go with that. Other than that, it's 50-50. Monday, one big game in Premier League, Liverpool against Manchester United. And this is where I would be with Liverpool. They are a very strong team at home. 9 goals scored in 2 games. That tells you the whole story. 2 wins. Manchester United away, not bad either. That would be a great game, but it's Liverpool for me. Liverpool will win, in my opinion. Both teams to score is probably something expected. It is. Goals are expected. I think I would go with Liverpool here. Eibar Osasuna. Yeah. Eibar, who were able to defeat Real Sociedad at home and drew with Real Madrid, should definitely beat Osasuna, a team that was only recently promoted. So I would go with Eibar to win. Palermo Torino. 13 goals scored by Torino. How many? Okay, 10 at home. So away is not that good. So stay away. Palermo again as bad at home as Torino away. So that can go in any way. 4 matches, so both teams scoring. You might want to try that. If you get around 195, worth a try. Okay, that's it. On Tuesday there's a full card of Champions League games, but that's it for this preview. I hope you enjoyed that. I'm waiting for your comments. We can have the discussion and conversation if you agree, if you disagree with my thoughts around these games, so I'm waiting for that. Okay, thanks for watching, and stay green.